So I wanted to make this video for you guys, just outlining what your guys' donations provide for my team and let you guys know how your money is being spent. So this is one of our locally produced 50 cal mounts. It somewhat resembles and functions like MK93 mount. They basically took the mount and copied it. Part of your guys' funds go to buy things like this. The people who make them, they generally make them at the lowest cost that they can in order to give to our unit and other units that need them. And they're not out here war profiteering, but they still have they still need to feed their families, they still need to pay their electrical bills, and they still need to buy the materials to build these things. So even though the United States has been giving us billions, they don't give us all the small individual parts that we need. Things like CLP. If they've given CLP, we haven't received any CLP. I've actually had to go out of pocket and purchase CLP in order to keep our 50 cals up. Those of you who have been with me for a while, you guys know that at the very beginning, we were using motor oil to lubricate the 50 cal. One of the second largest, so the first largest expenditure that we use your guys' donations for is night fighting capabilities, as well as batteries for those. So we have to use lithium batteries. We generally buy them in bulk from the United States and ship them over here. And before you tell me, oh, just use rechargeable batteries, you'll save so much money, you don't want to use rechargeable batteries, especially out there in these field conditions, for several reasons. One, battery life. It's not going to last as long as the batteries that we're using in the optics now, the lithium, and then the they're not NCADs, but they're just high density AA batteries. Other things that your guys' donations have provided for is vehicles. We purchased a van at 4,000 euros, and it's been the workhorse of our unit. But even if all of our vehicles were donated to our unit, we still have the issue of maintenance, fuel, and parts. So with the van's great example right now. The van is currently at a mechanic shop right now getting repaired. The fact that it's still running after what it's been through, it astounds me, but it's at the point in where there's a lot of work that needs to get done in it. The largest expense for these vehicles is fuel, and also the second largest expenditure for, or the second largest cost for our vehicles is tires. We go through tires relatively quickly out here. You, back in the United States, you buy your tires, you have your tires for years because you're driving around in nice conditions. The closer you are to the front lines, the worse the roads are going to be. And we end up getting flats quite often with the vehicles. And with that is, we can't just pull, we get a flat tire, right? Mostly it's damage to the rim, or, and it unseated the tire, which caused it to go flat. We can't just immediately pull over to the side of the road to fix that flat. And so we will travel 100, 200, 300, 500 meters down the road to a safe spot where we can actually change a tire. And when you do that, you end up destroying the tire. Even if it was just you popped it off the rim and it deflated, that tire's just destroyed. Or if you had the rim too, the rim gets destroyed. And case in point is this tire here. So what ended up happening was, I was on my way back from the hospital from one of my teammates a little while ago, and ended up hitting a ditch, not a ditch, a pothole pretty hard, which defaced the rim. The tire shops here near us say that they can't fix the rim. I sent the photo over to my buddy. He says that he can, but I wanted to show you that. So this is almost a brand new tire. This tire probably had less than 200 miles on it before the flat. But because I had to drive to a location, it was pouring rain, there was a location that I could get to in order to get this tire, to be able to jack up the vehicle to change out this tire. I had to drive it a little bit. And because of that driving on those road conditions, in that weather, it ended up destroying the tire. You can't really see it on the camera, but like right here's a bulge, right here is a bulge. This tire itself is destroyed. I took it to the tire place. They were telling me there's no way we could use this tire again safely. We're probably still going to keep the tire and use it kind of as an emergency spare, especially with this rim. But this is a $40 tire. This is a $60 rim that we bought. We still have to replace this rim, which means that we're spending another 60 bucks on another rim, another 40 bucks on another tire, just for the vehicle. There was one day we had 3 flats in one day. Although we were able to repair 2 of those 3 tires were salvageable. One of the tires we actually ended up having to throw out because the damage to it was too great. So you see that tires are even a consumable, is a consumable out here, more so than they are in the United States. You don't get the bang for your buck that you do here out there. Although these are going to be cheaper than what you get in the United States. It's still, we have to replace them so often. So part of your guys' money has gone out to buy us this chest freezer. It costs about around $400. And basically inside of it right now is a whole bunch of meat that we've received from the Ukrainian military. So the Ukrainian military will give us X amount of meat, cheese, bread, and foodstuffs, depending on the size of our unit. They would give that stuff to us. Well, now that we're a larger unit, we need more meat, we need more cheese, we need more dairy product, we need more vegetables and stuff. We need a place to keep it so that it keeps and doesn't spoil. So we had to buy this freezer in order to keep the food cold. We also ended up buying one mini fridge. So we had one mini fridge, and then for the longest time that was okay. And then as the team grew again, we ended up having to get a second mini fridge, mostly because they're relatively inexpensive. They're like $120, $150. We're probably now needing to go get an actual refrigerator for the team, because we got actually a lot more guys coming in, and that kind of leads us to the second thing. So these are my U.S. military cots. I've ended up buying about half a dozen of these things. They cost me $50. I get a special discount from the military surplus store that provides them to us. And before you guys are like, well, just sleep on the ground, sleep on a sleeping mat on the ground, you kind of see how many guys are living in just this one room and how tight quarters are. You do need to have their gear underneath the bed. They sleep on top of the bed. Their gear is underneath the bed. We can fit more people in a smaller area. So these cots are what else you guys have helped fundraise for. The appliances, so the refrigerator, the freezer. We have our own Starlink, so that I can continue reaching out and talking to you guys. We had to buy that, so that was $1,000. Plus, we pay the subscription per month for the Starlink. So you guys do a lot to help offset a lot of the costs that we have. Again, maintenance parts for the vehicles, we have to go out and buy those. So we have to go out and buy the maintenance parts for the vehicles. We have to buy the tires. We have to buy the rims. We buy a large portion of the night vision capabilities that we have. There's other big ticket items, drones. We buy a lot of our drones. We do get occasionally one donated to us, but we still need to fundraise to purchase additional drones. They crash, they get shot down, they get jammed, we lose them. So drones are consumables out here. So there's a lot of stuff that you guys have helped out with, and I'm appreciative of that. I thank you guys. Everybody who's helped donate, if it's $1 to $1,000, you guys are awesome. You guys are helping us defend Ukraine. So because you guys have been so generous in giving, that's what we've been able to do. We've been able to focus on and get the things that we need in order to help us defend Ukraine. We get the military gives us the ammunition, the vehicles, the fuel for the vehicles, and then we go out and we say, hey, we need these things in order to conduct our mission. They sometimes are able to provide us with the things that we need, sometimes they can't. And so we have to provide those things on our own. And it's through your guys' donations that help that. Now, the $30 billion that the U.S. has given Ukraine for direct military aid in the form of missiles, javelins, stingers, HIMARS, artillery shells, yeah, we get those and we use those, but we still need other things that they don't provide to us. So they don't give us enough mounts for the 50 cals for the vehicles. They don't give us gallons of CLP so we can clean the 50 cals. We can maintain the weapons here so that we can continue using them. So that's the huge difference between when I say, hey, we're doing a fundraiser to help provide funds for our team. You guys see what what we are spending the money on. And then you guys understand that everything else that we don't need you guys to buy us 50 cal rounds. We don't need you guys to go out and buy us a javelin because we get that already. What we do need is funds to help keep our vehicles on the road, to keep our vehicles able to get us to where we need to go. The unit vehicles, not the Humvees. We need appliances for the house in order to store our food. We only get commissary every so often. And they give it all to us in one lump sum. So they say, okay, for this week, you guys get 20 pounds of chicken. They're going to give us 20 pounds of chicken. We need a place to store that chicken so that we can cook it as we need to eat it. So the freezer, the refrigerators, hot plates to cook it, kettles to boil the water. We go through these things, get used up a lot quicker because the amount of people we have in our unit are constantly using these things. Night vision, thermal optics, those things. Again, they get damaged, lost, or destroyed on mission. Our team is expanding, so we had a huge intake of new Western fighters coming into my team. We're going to need to start getting them night vision. Some of them have been able to start to provide their own funds, or they have their own fundraisers going. But since I am more known, and you guys know that I'm out here on the front lines fighting, you guys know exactly where every dollar you guys donate to me goes. And I just wanted to show you guys kind of the living situation and how I spend the money that you guys give me. Even every penny that I make, so I get roughly around $3,000 per month fighting for Ukraine. I'm constantly spending that money on everything that I need for my team, and my team knows this too, right? So the money you guys give me, the money that I make, um, all of that is just going to sustaining my team for the fight ahead. So I wanted to thank you guys all for that. You guys are awesome. I'm sure there's going to be some more questions. I'll try to answer most of them. I do want to do another live here soon. I'll probably do one in the next few days. So keep an eye out for that. And I appreciate you guys. I do. Slava Ukraina.